Always remember that your purpose is your choice. No one else, not your parents, not someone else's programs of what they believe or what they believe to be true and tell you what you should believe, any of that. Your purpose is yours alone. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So today, November 7th, day 312, 54 days left in the year. And we are 85.25% complete with 2024. Who am I? I am Lenny Wennerstrom. And if you have been following me, you know that I am a spiritual guide and mentor. And I am going to fix this there because it's snowing. It's snowing like crazy. And one of the tools I use, what I teach is practical spirituality, and the tool that I use, many tools that I use, I almost want to start all over, but I'm not going to because I'm tired. So, but one of the tools I use is Dr. Shad Helmstedter's book, 365 Days of Positive Self-Talk for Finding Your Purpose. And the reason I started this channel, well, I didn't start this channel for finding your purpose. I fell into that after I got certified as a self-talk trainer and a life coach by Dr. Shad Helmstetter. And that was in 23. And I had been studying neuroplasticity and the brain and how we could change ourselves. And it wasn't until, how we could change our brain and change our thinking to that, not just positive thinking and not just affirmations, although at that point I thought affirmations, that would be really helpful. And they are, to give you a quick, oh yeah, that's right, whatever that is. But it's not repetition. So it records, but it doesn't rewire the brain unless you're saying it. And especially if it is not general, but very, very specific, because that's how the brain learns. So we talked about, so for November 7th, we're going to talk about a video that I made, I don't know how many months ago, but I think it's called, Is There Only One Absolute Truth, or something of that nature. So we'll talk about the absolute truth, but after I read you the passage, which is, I always remember that my purpose is my choice and it is up to no one else. No one else. My purpose is mine to choose and mine to live. So I'm going to spin it around. You always remember that your purpose is your choice and it is up to no one else. Your purpose is yours to choose and yours to live. So let's just break that down just a little bit, because in a nutshell, what it means is you are here to live your life. We talk about your purpose. I have to take this off because I have to push buttons and do the thing. But anyway, so I'll try and put it on every once in a while because it's pretty chilly out here. So, but in a nutshell, that means just that. Your purpose is yours to choose. And no matter who tells you that there's an absolute truth about what they believe, or this is what you should be doing with the rest of your life because that's what's most important. You find that in Asian cultures, someone that has to be a classical pianist or a gymnast, and that happens in all cultures. The parents will decide what the child should be, an attorney, a doctor, like in our society. And that individual really doesn't feel that that's where they want to be or need to be. Yet they do. A lot of them do it, and they can be very unhappy because of that. So I want to just tell you that when we, first of all, that is putting your free will on someone else. That is saying, I'm right, you're wrong. This is creating separation, and it's very presumptuous, as if you would know better for the person than they would know for themselves. So I'm going to read this passage again. I always remember that my purpose is my choice, and it is up to no one else. My purpose is mine to choose and mine to live. Which brings me to just a comment that I got on my last video from yesterday that basically said, our purpose is, and it's a very, just to love God, serve God, all of that. Okay, fine. I'm so happy that you found your purpose. It's so importante for that person to love himself or herself. I'm not sure. I think himself, and just to know what their purpose is, and I think And my brother, many, many months ago, told me that the absolute truth, like there was no other absolute truth. Actually, two of my brothers, actually, all four of my brothers have done it, but two have done it in a very intense way. And one of them said the absolute truth, and there is no other truth, is that God is our Lord and Savior. Okay, that's your absolute truth. Yeah, I see things a little differently. In fact, I see things a lot differently. And that can be when your programs. We're going to go into neuroplasticity because what this is are programs. It's like Republican Democrat. You know, Trump won, Kamala Harris lost, and everybody's just angry or excited or celebrating or hating on one or the other. And if you don't see their values as your own, like if you chose Kamala, then you wasted a vote and you whatever. It's just like it's so contentious. It is so 3D. And I want to show you a different way. I want you to think about this. And obviously, these are my views, and you're listening to me. You've tuned into my channel, and so maybe it's of interest to you. Maybe you're curious. Maybe you believe as I do. But these are my beliefs, and these are my programs, and I have chosen my programs. And I want you to understand how the brain works. The brain, and I've said it many, many times, the brain works on very specific direction. And when it's repeated, and especially if there's emotion, and this is just part of neuroplasticity. There's more than this, but that repetition, repetition, repetition. When you were born with unlimited promise and potential. You had no idea what a Democrat or Republican, you had no idea what God, or, well, you probably did because you are God, but you are an individual, aspect of God. And so an individual particle of God, if you will, and you are having your own unique individual experience as that. It's only a matter of degree. I talk about the drops in the ocean, and they all have all the constituents of the ocean, and then they drop back into the ocean. And what are they? The ocean. But while they were there up in the air, they were unique. They one was a little longer, one was a little shorter, one was a little higher up in the spray. Another one was way to the left, one way to the right. Another one, a whale came and knocked it, and it went flying off to the other side and had even more of an experience. And then they all went back into the ocean and became what? One with the ocean. And this is how I see consciousness, very intelligent consciousness, God, higher power, universe, whatever you want to call that higher power. You are free to call it whatever it is. You have my permission to call it whatever you want. Anyway, I basically call it source, or even God at times. It doesn't really matter to me. It's a very intelligent energy, and so what I just want to share with you is we are moving into wholeness, into oneness. This is a planet of duality. Planet Earth is a planet of duality, black and white, peace and chaos, and all the things like good and bad, wrong and right, evil and good, all of those things. And I believe that every single thing has value because it's all one. It's just opposite sides of the stick. So in the middle, here's neutrality, and then over here you have good, over here you have bad, right? But it's all the same. It's just opposite sides of the same stick. And so when you look at it that way, you get to decide what you want to focus on. Like, because where you place your energy, where you place your focus, you place your energy. That's where your energy goes. So I share this with you because if you really think about what is important to you, if you really think about what's important in life, And one of the, you start to things start to pale in value. And I say that because, very honestly, with the election, very honestly, like, I'm not ever honest with you, but the election, I had really no ideas what was going on. I mean, I have possibly my husband who requires 24/7 care at this point. Um, I have our daughters here, but I mean, an immense amount of care. And it's been many months of being out of our own state, out of our own home, dealing with doctors and nurses, and a lot of beautimous peeparoos that I've met, gained several clients because of it, along the way. It's been a blessing, yet it's also been very consuming in the 3D world. And things like the election took a back seat. It took a back seat. I saw Steve. That guy was just like major Republican. And then he kind of started changing as he started looking for his purpose and stuff. And but he still wanted Trump to win. He was just all, and then pretty soon he just didn't care. and his breathing was more important. His health was more important. And so you start looking and seeing what's more important in your life. And who are we to tell someone what their absolute truth is, that what your purpose is, and what you should be doing, what you should be thinking, who you should be voting for, what you should be sharing, not sharing, all of that, who you should become or who you should not become. All of these things these are choices. And when you look at the choices, which to me is our free will, our programs direct us. So let me just explain, like with my brother, who, God is our Lord and Savior. Okay, but I mean, and truly, there's somebody out there judging us and telling, that we're bad or wrong or any of those things. That's not my belief at all. And it took me a very long time. I grew up Catholic. It took me a very long time to move past the guilt and the thinking somebody eyes were everywhere and I was being watched and I was being bad or doing this or I shouldn't do that or that was immoral or or this was good. I'm going to get brownie points so I can get to heaven and see St. Peter at the pearly gates. It took me a very long time to shed that. That was a program. That was a program from my parents. And we went to church every Sunday. We had catechism, so Sunday school, and we had to, when I was growing up, we had to wear a veil over our heads, a scarf, and so it just, the girls did, we did, and the boys didn't. It's like, well, and me right away, I'm like, why do I have to wear a scarf if my brothers don't? So one day, and I told you the story before, but one day we went and my dad, we were not very, we didn't have a whole lot of money. We had an abundance of love, but we just didn't have a lot of resources. And we were all ready for church. And I just decided to buck the system. If my brothers didn't have to wear a scarf, I didn't have to wear a scarf. And so my dad, he got, when we got in the car, he saw me and he got a bobby pin from my mom and he got a square of toilet paper. I don't know why we had toilet paper in the car, but probably for some throwing up or who knows what, as Kleenex or something. But anyway, he took a square off and he just rammed the bobby pin with the square into my head. And because he was angry with me because I was bucking all this system of going to church and all of that and what I was supposed to do as a female. So anyway, that's a very deep program that took me a long time to get rid of. I did not know about neuroplasticity back when. I have known about neuroplasticity for many years now, and I have constantly searched for like how to change my brain forever, permanently change my brain to have those positive, those the programs that propel me forward, that don't have me in self-doubt or thinking I'm not good enough or not worthy, or I'm not strong enough to do something, or any of the things that are limiting. We are born with unlimited promise and potential, and then we get programmed. And I was programmed that way, in that respect. And so this is where this passage today is so perfect and beautiful. It's I always remember that my purpose is my choice and it is up to no one else. My purpose is mine to choose and mine to live. So if someone tells you that your purpose is, as I was told, on just on the comment, if you look at yesterday's video, and no offense, like I'm not even taking offense. It just really, it was so perfect. I was like, wow, this is absolutely perfect, because my brother told me there's only, one God, and he's up there and judging and and all this, and 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 then this person that comments says our purpose and our job is to, well, that's a program. That my brother has a program. I shared that with him long ago. Actually, I don't know that I really did. I was always questioning. And then this person definitely running a program of what he was taught. And maybe it wasn't taught as a child, but maybe this person, keep saying he because I think it was a he, but maybe this person had almost died, or had a horrible car accident, or his daughter was saved somehow, I mean, I have absolutely no idea. But maybe there was, he was influenced by someone, and it was, to be saved. And so, and Jesus is our Lord and Savior. That's all fine. That I would never look at anyone and say that you're wrong about that, because that would be presumptuous of me to say, I know what's best for you. You should believe like I do, that the universe, that we are, that it's like 99.99% wave, and like less than, 0.999 whatever percent particle, like all the things we can touch. Look at all the space around us. That's what I know to be true through quantum physics, and the things that I have learned. And the neuroplasticity fits right in with the brain, always there to help you to do whatever it is that you repeat, most often the strongest programs. And so the more that you tell yourself that, that you're not good enough, you're not strong enough, you're not worthy, any of those things, that's a program. And it goes in, and it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So wouldn't you rather, let me just explain how the programs work. Say so, and I talk about this a lot. We'll just go like kind of down. But so here's the program. You were programmed by your parents, by teachers, well-meaning, most of us, well-meaning. And they're sharing their beliefs, their values. This, I mean, and it can be very, very beautiful. It's just that it's limiting. Like, these people are not great, and you want to be with these people. And I mean, I'm talking like race or a religion, or that religion, that religion is the devil. This is the right religion. And there's separation. And what I'm really getting to is your purpose, what you do in life is your choice, and separation. And we're moving into wholeness. We're moving into oneness. And as soon as you start feeling the oneness, and you can start seeing the split, the divide, the reason why there's wars, why there's anger and really low frequency emotions. It's because you're you and I'm me. And a lot of times it's I'm right and you're wrong, or you're telling me you're wrong and I'm right, right? And so it really is presumptuous of us to say that we know better for someone. Man, I can tell you, and I've told you before, I was the worst when I went vegan, and I didn't even know I was going vegan. I'd come out of my 8 years and of these fallow years where I was literally tried to kill myself several times. And I hated myself. I absolutely hated myself. And I thought my family would be so much better off without me. And I really believed that Where did I get that program? I have no idea. I mean, what I tell you, 77%, these are researchers and neuroscientists will tell you that over 77% and probably more of your programs are harmful. They're in your conscious mind. You're conscious. They're harmful, they're counterproductive, they stop you, they hold you back from doing what you want to do, from being that unlimited, from realizing that you can't realize anything because you continue to go, but you were born with unlimited promise and potential. And then you got programmed. And so when I share that with you, when I that so I just want to tell you that the programs, right? And then 90 to 95% of our subconscious mind has that same type of negative programming. So things that hold us back, we don't even know why. We self sabotage. It's like, why did I do that? I mean, I'm trying to get ahead. I'm trying to have success, but then I just don't want to get off the couch and do anything. I went to this big seminar and I got all excited, and now it's gone. Like I just don't feel like it. And so these are programs. So here it is again. I've shared this many, many times. I'm going to go this way so you can see. Let me see. I don't know if it's left or right, but anyway. So there's your programs. You were born and then you got programmed. So these are the programs, whatever they are, whether it be religion, politics, how you think about culture, how you think about yourself, whatever it is, that there's a program. And then when you have your attitude becomes that, like there's an attitude that is associated with that program, and then you have emotions or feelings around that, and then you have behaviors or actions that you take because of that, and then you have your outcome and your results of that. It just flows from your programs. And this is why I say you can change your programs. You still have that unlimited promise and potential. You still have it. And it's just been covered up with programs. And you may not like some of these programs. And you might love some of these programs, like the person who, my brother, and I should say probably most of my brothers, and this person who commented, they very much believe what they believe. And I'm not here to challenge them, try to change them, any of that. That would be very presumptuous of me to think I know better, what's better for them, that they should believe I do, as I do. And so I just invite you to really go deep inside and understand that you can change these programs. And that and let me give you a really good example. I've given this to you before, but let me just shift it up a little bit. If you were born here in the United States, and your parents, one was a Republican, one was a Democrat. That's what I had. My mom was like intense Democrat. My dad was intense or whatever Republican. And so let's just say that you were born into that family, but you were 2 weeks old and somebody woofed you off to the Middle East. Do you think that you would be thinking about like who would be the best president, a Democrat or Republican? Do you think that you would feel the same way about Americans if you didn't have your parents or anyone else? You had like total strangers, people from the Middle East. Do you think that you would be like your birth parents and their values and their religion and their whatever, just basically their values and how they live and living their programs? So I want you to see that very clearly, that if that happened to you, if that happened to anyone, they would be a part of that culture. It would be environment, right? It would be their environment. So that really is, I'm trying to drive this home, because your purpose is so important to having a beautiful life and living fully and understanding the direction, like having that boat with a rudder that is like, whoosh, like that is, exactly the direction you're going. You know the direction. You may not know exactly where you're going at the moment, but you know who you are to serve and in this lifetime, and you know what it is that you're here to do. You know what your overall mission in life is, like your life here on planet Earth during this time. And so when you know that, there's a lot of peace. There's a lot of, you're able to just move fluidly forward. Not that you don't have setbacks and everything else, because this is a planet, yes, it's of duality, right? But it also has challenges so that you can learn and grow and expand your consciousness and have many, many experiences. And if you didn't have experiences, like I talked to you a lot about excelling in times of change. So I with Steve, I mean, yesterday we were told that he's pretty much he's actively transitioning, and I don't know whether he is or not. It kind of looks that way to me. I don't know. It's not easy. None of this is easy. And I chuckled because it's like this guy has gone on and on and on, and he's like almost died so often. And it's like, is this just another time where he's looking like he might almost die, or is this really going to happen? I don't know. I'm saying yes. I'm saying yes to the experience, yes to the lessons, yes to flowing, yes to excelling in times of change, and not breaking down and being so upset and this shouldn't be happening to me and being the victim. There's another video I'd like invite you to watch, and it's the drama triangle. I'm not a victim of Steve's health or of what's happening with Steve. No, I am empowered. I am living fully. Am I tired? Sure, this is part of the human experience, and my vehicle is pretty darn tired. Yet I have learned more during these last 5, 6, 7, 8 months. It's been a while. In such a short amount of time, I have shifted immensely, and I'm a much better life coach. I'm a much better person. I have way more peace about things. And I'm a better person. I'm a more quality person than I ever was before because of it. It's been a gift. It continues to be a gift. Is it fun? Is it easy? No. Some of it's been fun. Some of it's been funny. We've had some major laughs even this morning, talking to Steve and telling him stories and just all kinds of stuff. He refuses to put on oxygen, and he's at a very low oxygen point, so he's blue, and it's not pretty to see. So we tease him about things, and we're just making fun, and then not making fun, but we're just messing with him the way we would do normally, just teasing him, and and also at the same time saying it's okay. It's okay to go. If you want to transition, it's okay. We're going to be just fine. And so we're having fun, we're sad, we're all this stuff. And and yet through it all, I know what my purpose is. I know exactly the direction I'm headed. My boat, my rudder is so strong now. It is so strong. Like my self-talk, that helping you to change your programs is like, I just want to help you change your mental programs. If I can do that, then you're going to have a better life. You're going to find success in many, if not all, areas of your life if you continue to just listen passively to this self-talk language that Dr. Shad Helmstetter created, because that's neuroplasticity. You could do it other ways. You could follow Joe Dispenza. You could look at Bruce Lipton and all the things he has, and you can change your biology. Things do take time and intense focus. If you have the time, if you want to put the focus on that, if it's part of your purpose, by all means, go for it. I'm doing a lot of it. So, but yet this is 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at night, passive. You're doing other stuff. Like, I don't know anything easier than that. And when I fell into that in 23, when we were moving in, that book fell into my hands again. What You Say When You Talk to Yourself by Dr. Shad Helmstetter. That book literally, like, almost jumped out of the bookcase. We moved in here into this mountain home, and I was putting the books on there, and it literally, like, almost jumped. I was like, oh, and it was in my hands. And I'm looking at it, and I thought, man, that was, and I just thought that was a good book, and I opened it and I was like, man, why didn't I read this? Like, why didn't I pay attention to this when Lynette was little? And why didn't I like? And then I was just like, you know what? Just just do it, Lenny. Like, read it and indulge in it, grow from it. Neuroplasticity. Now you understand. It's repetition. There's emotion. There's consistency. There's all this programming. When I got it, I got it, and that is a very big part of my purpose, is to serve you and to serve others who are interested in living a more full life, a life of their choosing, not of someone who tells you, oh, the cows are mewing, mowing. Oh, I did that again. I did that last time. They are mooing. They are mooing. I did that last. I said the very same thing. Anyway, the it sounds so pretty out here with all the winter. I hope they're not too cold. Anyway, so this whole thing of changing your programs, it's really an honor and a privilege to have a brain and to know what that brain is capable of. And for you, and we could go into the heart, which is so much stronger. That heart is magnetic, and it is attracting, it is vibrating at a frequency. And you get to choose that frequency. You can choose love, you could choose hatred, you could choose division. You could say, you know, that candidate sucks and this one is the better one. And anyone who didn't vote the way I did, they suck. They don't have my values, so I never want to see them again. What happened during COVID? People who wanted the shot, others didn't want the shot. Grandparents were separated from their grandchildren because they refused. They did not believe in getting that shot. And then they couldn't see their children, and families are still splintered. Division. It's by design on planet Earth. And when you get it, pretty soon you stop playing in the matrix. You stop playing the game. You start seeing that it really is oneness, wholeness that we are moving towards. And all of these pitting a person against another, or telling someone that they have to be this way or do that, from anything, your purpose, or as I've been told often, it's really interesting, um, with where I'm at now, that, you know, it's that Christianity, or the, you know, whatever, baptism, or whichever religion, that's the way to do it. And there's a God, and he's up there somewhere, and he's judging, and he's saying, you're wrong, you're going to hell. I personally don't think that God would ever do that. That's just not my God. My God, my God. Did you see Sister Act 1 and 2? Do. Never mind. Anyways, really good. So, but that's where I'm at. I want to share this with you, because hopefully this has you curious, or you agree, or you disagree, but you could open up your mind, or maybe this channel's not for you, and that's okay. That's okay. What I want you to take away from this is that there is no one absolute truth. Everyone has their own truth. Everyone creates their own reality. No matter what, you are creating your own reality by the choices you make, by your attitude, by your programs, the programs that you choose. Once you understand, oh, I forgot. Let me see. Oh, I have Steve's phone with me. I wanted to show you that always in the, there's snow everywhere. So let me see if I can get this out. But always there is, in the description, I always put where you can get 30 days free. And this is the app right here. These are the programs. Let me see if I can get it close. I don't know if I get there. These are the programs. This is a self-talk app. And these are the different ones. Just look at all these things that you can change. Oops. Look, stress, worry, and depression. Wow, that one is good that it came up. Anyway, these are the programs, and you can play different tracks on them for only, 10, 15 minutes. Just one track of 4 in one of the programs, or some of them have 6. There's also recovering from addiction. There's losing weight, 1 and 2. There's so many. Your self-esteem, your positive self-talk for financial strength or financial success, career self-talk, positive self-talk for building your career or creating your career, for selling, for having winning relationships. So your health, your relationships, your finances, all of that, your attitudes. And these are all programs that you get to look at and say, yeah, I think I want high self-esteem. I think I want to really like who I am. So you play self-esteem. I want to win at my relationships. I really want to do better in my relationships. So you listen to winning at positive self-talk for winning at relationships. You choose your programs, and the more you repeat those, repeat as the brain, neuroplasticity. What is neuroplasticity? In a nutshell, the brain is constantly rewiring until the very last breath you take. Steve gets to listen to self-talk. I have no idea whether he's going to stick around or not, but the guy gets self-talk all the time, and he gets meditations, he gets all kinds of stuff. He gets singing and dancing and laughter, all that stuff. I have no idea, but I know the brain is recording. That I do know. So I'm just doing my best to give him my best, and I'm doing my best to give you my best. So if you're interested in working with me, I'm a life coach certified by Dr. Shad Helmstetter and the Life Coach Institute, and I'm in the Self-Talk Institute, and so I'm also a self-talk trainer, so I can talk to you about how it all came about, self-talk, and how it all works. And it's what I do all the time here with you. And it's really beautiful, my clients, how they excel. They excel in times of change because I'm right there for them. I will always be right there for them, to just help them, to remind them that they are so empowered, to empower them, to have them empower themselves, to realize how powerful they really are, who and what they really are, and that they were born with unlimited promise and potential. And all they have to do is rewire, get those programs that covered all that unlimited promise and potential. It covered it all up with negative programs that are holding them back and all of that. It's like, let's rewire your brain. This is why I won't work with anyone that is not listening to the self-talk app, because I know as a health coach years ago, my clients, did they have success? They had some amazing successes, but they always seemed to go back to when they were in a time of change, stress, whatever. They'd go back to not hydrating. They'd go back to not doing exercise. They go their programs. They would always have an excuse, and that was not their fault. I did not know that it was about neuroplasticity, and it was their programs that were running, that were holding them back and stopping them and having them self-sabotage. I had no idea. I was just frustrated, and I gave that up. I was like, don't want to do this anymore. It's not rewarding. So this is rewarding because those of you, if you have got the self-talk app and you're listening to it, I don't hear a whole lot of people except my clients and some, others that are using it, but just on this channel, I don't have a lot of peeperoos that are saying, hey, I've been using it and I'm amazing. This is really working. But I do know that it has helped hundreds of thousands of peeperoos just like you, and has helped me, has helped my daughter, it's helped all of my clients, continues to help them. And they now live better, more full lives because of it. They have their choices are better choices that serve them, and they know where they're going in life. If they haven't yet found their purpose, they know that most of them do know what their purpose is. It's just, how did they get there now? But the rudder is strong. And so how do I serve these people? Like, in what capacity? So it's more of the discovery, if anything. And how do we work with that? Goal setting, active goal setting. And it's like, it takes just as long to get to the wrong goal as it does to the right goal. And I think it takes longer to get to the wrong goal because it just doesn't feel right. And there's shiny object syndrome and all kinds of stuff that happen, meaning this distracts you and that distracts you. And then you might get to that wrong goal, or maybe it's just like, man, this just doesn't feel right. Like becoming a concert pianist that your dad told you you had to become. So it just doesn't feel right. So these are the things that I share with you because I want you to choose your own programs. I want you to be empowered. I want you to understand that you are not a victim of anything or anyone or any situation or any place, person, or thing, any noun. You are not a victim of anything unless you say you are. And if whatever you say, my favorite quote, just I say it's my favorite, but it's just so it just tells you exactly as it is, whether you think you can or think you can't. You're right. Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right. You're creating your reality. This is how you create it. And then you set your goals. You change your mental programs. You set your goals. You keep moving forward towards them, the right goals. And you start living, you start really living a beautiful life more fully. You know where you're going. You're more organized about everything because everything just starts falling in place. Goal setting does that for you. So I hope this is helpful. Let me see if I can find that page again. Oh, it's right here. Oh, no, it's not. Here, let me find the page. I was very happy. Thought, wow, I just found it because I have my big old gloves on. So let me see if I can get it to it in all this snow that's blowing over me. So November 7th, I always remember that my purpose is my choice and it is up to no one else. My purpose is mine to choose and mine to live. Is it the 7th or is it the 6th? No, I think it's the 7th. Anyway, it's the 7th. It is the 7th today, no matter what, because even if I did it wrong, I'll have to go back and do the right one. But this is for November 7th. So I really want you to, I, my, I guess my wish for you and my intention for you is that you become empowered to change your programs and to remember that if you had been whisked away from the United States or UK or wherever you're watching me or listening from, if you'd been whisked away to a totally foreign country, maybe even to the, like Tarzan, swinging from the trees, would you care about politics? Would you care about a certain politician? Would you hate different cultures, like if it were Middle Eastern, and some that dislike intensely United States? If that were that, would you dislike intensely United States? Nurture versus nature, right? The environment. You would be in a different environment. You would learn different things. You wouldn't have the whole experience. You'd have a whole different experience. And I want you to think about that because that will show you that all of what's in our heads are programs. And you get to change your programs. You are in charge. It is your life, your purpose, no one else. There is no one absolute truth. You are the absolute truth of your life, and you get to decide whether you think you can or whether you think you can't. You're right. You're absolutely correct. But if you think you can't, but you want to think that you can, then I'd listen to the self-talk app. I'd get the 30 days free that's in the description, and I'd start using it. I'd start rewiring my brain. That's what I did. And so I am a product of the product, and I'm doing very, very well with it, as are all my clients and my daughter and my brother and other people, friends that are listening to it. They're doing amazing because they're rewiring the brain. After a while, it becomes a habit, and pretty soon you're just setting goals, or you're just being more organized, or you're having better relationships with your family and friends and your spouse, or your children, or you're all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I can do that, and I can make more money if I do this, or I am going to go for that position in the company. And pretty soon your self-confidence grows because you're listening to self-esteem and everything, all of them, they're foundational on self-esteem. And pretty soon it's like, yes, I got this. Yes, I can do that. Yes, I can help you. Yes. And you start by changing your programs, which then changes your attitude. Instead of thinking you can't, or whatever the attitude is of the program you're running, whether it be politics or finances or religion or just a culture or any of that stuff. That's a program. And then you have an attitude about it. And then you have feelings, emotions around it. And then you have your behaviors or your actions that you take. And then you have your outcome, like whatever actually happened or whatever, any of that. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful. If you don't like something about you, where you're at, change your program. You can do it. I love you very, very much. I wish you all the best. I always do. I believe in you. You can do this. You can find your purpose. You can do, be, change, have, create absolutely anything. And there is no absolute truth. Don't ever allow anyone to tell you what is or what isn't, because it could change in a heartbeat. Think about, just here's another one. Coffee, it's good for you, it's bad for you. Eggs, they're good for you, they're bad for you. Everything just changes. So I'm going to read it like your higher self is talking to you now. You always remember that your purpose is your choice and it is up to no one else. Your purpose is yours to choose and yours to live. Yes, I love you so very, very much. As always, shining my light to brighten yours. See you tomorrow. I'm going to take it off so I can press this and say ciao, 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 ciao.